results are what they are, I guess let me just start with the real basic kind of. How do you explain maybe the last couple games, but tonight in particular, just a flat performance?
Yeah, just think about it. A week ago, we beat Wyoming, #1 team in the league, and even for the majority of the season, we've been competing. We have totally lost that. Even Colorado State, I think we competed. We just ran out of gas. San Jose State and this game, we did not compete at the level to even give ourselves a chance. And it's disappointing. It is because, I think when you take over a program that's such a rebuild, it's going to take time. But I thought that we have established enough of a culture that when you play New Mexico, we may not be the biggest and we may not have the most depth, but we're going to compete. We have lost that the last 2 games, and it's very, very disappointing. So we got to go back home and we got to reflect. And we got to understand that this is a privilege to play for New Mexico, and it's a privilege to play for a great program, and we can't take that for granted.
You pointed out the effort, and up until probably the last 2 games, though, there wasn't anybody that could really argue the effort. The effort was still there. Like you said, Colorado State ran out of gas. What do you tell a team that for 2 games now hasn't given the effort you expect for this program?
Well, I think the 4 games in 8 days has something to do with it,
Sure.
right? I think it's clearly worn them down, and you have to, as you get older and stronger and tougher, fight through it. There won't be stretches like this non-COVID related, I would assume, moving forward, but everybody deals with the league. The older, tougher teams are going to fight through it and just find a way. Learn from it, or else you're going to be in the losing end a lot. And as we build this program, we got to get tougher and stronger physically and continue to add to the talent, but we mentally obviously got to get a lot better.
As far as the, I guess maybe defensively goes, the second half of San Jose State in particular, and then tonight, it just it looked like, was it an effort thing or was it a schematic thing in any way? Did any surprises?
No. They started out 8 for 8. Second half, they started 5 for 7. And I've tried to explain to our guys over and over again that we are not going to be a masterpiece offensively all the time. And we've had some unbelievable moments, but it's going to lower a little bit as the league goes on, and you got teams playing for postseason bursts and doing all that, which Utah State still thinks they're in the mix.
Sure.
But our guys have just got to find a way to challenge shots better, cover for each other better. So, we just got to keep working on it, but it's so far away from where it needs to be, and that's disappointing. The offense has had moments, but the defense is such a long way to go.
How were the practices the last couple times you got? I know you guys have been on the road.
Well, we've been on the road so much, so it's been
practices.
hard to really, really practice. We've tried to watch a lot of film, and yesterday's travel was long. We had to fly into Salt, not an excuse, but it's just long travel, so it's been unique to get better in this stretch, but like I said before we went on this trip, we haven't been perfect. We know we got to build, but the effort hasn't been poor by any means. In the last 2 games, it has.
Air Force, I know we'll talk again before then, so I don't need a full scout or anything, but you guys got an Air Force team that you guys beat pretty good. Is the way you played the last 2 games going to get these guys' attention? Because Air Force may not, because of the way
we'll lose the game if we play like this. We're not a good enough team right now to play with that level of intensity and beat anybody. Air Force beat this team. They beat Utah State. So I don't know. We got to find a way to reestablish what we've tried to establish about hard work, and it's been pretty good. It really has. And we've lost it the last 2 games, and we got to find a way to go get it back.
All right, KJ. Look, man. After a performance like that, it's not an easy answer, I'm sure. If it was easy, you guys would have done it after these last 2 games. But what's going on with this team right now after these past 2 games?
I think it's just, it's a lot of things, but at the end of the day, we just got to look at each other and understand we're a family, and we got to have each other's back instead of thinking everything is that we're beating ourselves. I feel like that's a big thing, a part of us, instead of taking our anger and our frustration out on the other opponent. So
And it is frustrating, obviously. You can see it on the floor, too, though. Is that a point that you guys can do something about?
Of course. At the end of the day, the only thing you personally can control is your body language and your effort. And nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take the joy, that God gave you this opportunity to play basketball. Nobody can take that away from you. And we just got to understand that and just continue to grow together.
All right. Late in the season, but there's still some time left, obviously, about a week and a half. Just fixable?
Everything's fixable. Everything, you breathe oxygen, lace them up the same way. It's fair game, you know what I mean? So just got to get back home, look at the film, continue to work and show up and continue. We can still make a run at this, so it's not over.
It was a week ago, right?
Right.
I mean, we're talking 1 week ago. This was a whole different kind of mood. Obviously, something changed, but is there hope that if it can change this direction that quickly, it could change back to the other direction just as quick?
Of course. You see a lot of programs, they go down these, bad stretches and anything can happen. It's just a matter about are we willing to, control what we can control and have enough pride to go out there and compete every day.
Last one for me. Is there, on the defensive side anyway, something that shifted, I guess, maybe since that Wyoming game? I guess you guys still did a good first half with Colorado State too, but since the second half of Colorado State, the second half especially at San Jose State, and then tonight, it just defensively looked like you guys weren't certainly not on the same page, but just are teams just doing something different that you guys aren't ready for, or what's going on defensively?
Nah, I think a lot of it comes from frustration on the offensive end.
Okay.
And I think that carries over to defense. And we're so, as a team, we're offensive heavy, top of the league in offense. And if we can get the mindset change that defense can win us a lot of games, then we'll be really good.
Appreciate you, man.